I've always said that liberals and leftists are sissies. When the going gets tough, they run for the exits. And perhaps the sissy of the week, or should we say the last several weeks, is Bill Maher of Real Time of HBO. He defamed my client, Laura Loomer, in the lead up to the election, saying that she was having sex with, of course, Donald Trump. He was surmising there must have been someone out there except Melania. He was defaming Melania as well. Extremely low class. He defamed Laura Loomer, harmed her in order to get to Donald Trump. He's, of course, made the brilliant prediction that Kamala Harris was going to win in a landslide. No genius, believe me. Now, I've appeared with Bill Maher in the past when I ran Judicial Watch. In fact, I'll attach to this podcast one of the episodes that you can watch. Bill Maher was different then. He wasn't so arrogant. He wasn't so all-consuming, self-centered as he is now. He thinks, like most of the leftist media, in fact, all of it, that he can say and do whatever he wants to harm people, to get clicks and ratings, and to promote his show. Frankly, although I had gotten along with Bill Maher, I never found him very funny. I didn't even think he could read a teleprompter. In that respect, perhaps Kamala Harris is more advanced than he is, because the way he delivers his lines comedically, they're not even funny. He stumbles frequently, and it doesn't look like he wrote it himself. He's mouthing what other people have written, but this one was probably extemporaneous. I sent a letter on behalf of Laura Loomer, who, of course, is very close to President Trump, to Bill Maher and HBO. And I said, look, all you have to do is apologize and put her on the air and let her explain on Real Time. Instead, I got back a threatening letter from a lawyer by the name of Catherine Bolger of a firm Davis Wright Tremaine. This is the premier firm, so to speak, to use the term premier loosely, that represents leftist media and big corporations like NBC, CBS, HBO, Showtime. I've been up against them many times. There was even an article in Hollywood Reporter that showcased them, and then there was an article about me because I was kind of their antidote. I was representing the conservative side of things, the pro-Trump side of things, against the leftist media. I'll also attach that to this podcast. Anyway, basically, I got back a letter which said F you from Catherine Bolger, threatening Laura Loomer. We're seeking attorney's fees. And if it wasn't a letter written in a legal context, it would have defamed her even again. This firm is dishonest. It's despicable. I've been up against them many times. They have no compunction about lying to judges and other tribunals, whether it's arbitration or you name it. They are dishonest. In any event, I brought a lawsuit. We attempted to serve Bill Maher at his house. He wasn't there. We asked Catherine Bolger and her partners. She has several female partners, one of which is the former wife of Harold Ickes, deputy White House chief of staff under the Clintons. It says a lot about who they are in terms of their political ideology, at least. And they wouldn't accept service of process, running from process servers in effect. And today they're filing motions to dismiss, motions to stay discovery, motions for lack of personal jurisdiction, when in fact, Bill Maher has yet to even be served, and they're refusing to accept service of process. They have no standing to do it. It's just to run up the costs. It's a big law firm. They know that, my law firm, this is in a private capacity, is small, and this is what they do. So I want to put this out to the American people. Big shot Bill Maher is afraid to accept service of a complaint, to have his day in court brought by a case filed by Laura Loomer, much less prominent in terms of financial ability than he is. And he's willing to hire big law firms as well as HBO to try to crush Laura Loomer. Well, I've got a message for them. God willing, we will crush Bill Maher and we will crush Box Office. We've asked for damages in excess of $150 million, and let this be a lesson to the leftist media that we will stop at nothing. In fact, my public interest group, which isn't involved here, has a leftist, anti-leftist strike force for the media. But let this be a message that you cannot destroy people for political purposes, and certainly in Bill Maher's case, that you can't run from process servers or service of process. Bill Maher is a coward. He is a weak coward. And frankly, he has a very, very questionable law firm representing him, which is probably willing to do anything to try to get him to skate. But that will not happen. God help me. That will not happen. That's my message today. If you want to help Laura Loomer out, because this is going to be an expensive case, cost-wise and otherwise, just taking depositions, costs almost $10,000 each. Please go to larryclayman.com, contribute with contributions. It's not tax deductible. It's a private case, but she can use the help for her legal defense fund. larryclayman.com. God bless you. God bless your family. God save your family, and God save America. We live in very perilous times. And despite the fact that President Trump has been elected the 47th president, we, the American people, must fight back ourselves. And Laura Loomer is doing that, not just for herself, but for you. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, remember, the Father and Son will help us only if we help ourselves. Laura Loomer and I are helping ourselves under the grace of God. Thank you.